Dali and the Path of Dreams. Once upon a time, there was a little boy whose name was Salvador, though everyone called him Salvi. What Salvi liked most of all was to run barefoot along the beach with his hoop. One afternoon, as he was playing in the waves, Salvi noticed something gleaming under the water. Looking closer, he saw it was a key that the sea had left there. Salvi popped it in his pocket. Wondering what the key might be for, Salvi hopped up on his long-legged elephant and let his imagination lead the way. He soon came across a very strange cook who was tossing clocks as though they were pizzas. Each clock showed only one time and never changed. Suddenly, one of the clocks struck 3, which was exactly the hour for magic. "Hello, cook," said Salvi. "Do you know what this key is for?" "Let's have a look," said the cook. Salvi passed him the key. "Aha! This is a magic key. Leave your elephant here and get into this little boat. It knows where to take you." Salvi was curious. He got into the boat, and immediately it began to float up into the air. When he was nearer to the sky than the ground, Salvi noticed that some of the clouds made funny shapes, like objects and animals, and he started to play at guessing what they looked like. The boat floated up to a very tall tower that had 7 enormous eggs on the roof. Salvi jumped out and ran up the steps that wound around the tower. He came to a very strange doorway. Inside the tower was dark and mysterious. Everywhere Salvi looked, there were drawers and doors. He wondered if he could open any of them. Maybe the key in his pocket didn't seem to fit any of the locks. Salvi decided to try one last drawer. This time, to his amazement, the key fit. Would he find a treasure chest, a secret map? But inside there was one black piano key. Salvi popped it in his pocket just as he had done with the key from the sea. Salvi went on exploring the strange tower until he came across a room with a piano standing right in the middle of the floor. Salvi took a closer look and saw that one of the piano keys was missing. Could it be the one in his pocket? He took it out and put it in place. All of a sudden, the piano started to wriggle and wobble as though it was made of rubber. Its feet left the floor and it flew around the room. It began to play a tune all by itself. The music was very sweet, but also a little scary. Then, in time to the music, a pone, a swan, a snail tamer, a flying banana, and all sorts of strange people and objects appeared from the corners of the room. The skipping lady, the fried egg penguins, the unicorn, the bread-head cyclist, the ants, the stone man, and the lady with butterfly wings all set off along a very long path. This path was so long it didn't seem to have any end at all. But at last it came to a point like the end of a long black mustache. The point led to a very special drawer. Each and every one of these very peculiar people settled down to live in that drawer for a very long time. Like every child in the world, Salvi grew up. And then he wasn't known as Salvi anymore, but Salvador Dali. Although he was grown up, he never wanted to forget those dreamy afternoons of his childhood, and he decided to open the special drawer and paint the story of each of the people who lived inside. So today, when we look at the paintings of Salvador Dali, we can all share a part of those wonderful dreams. All of the illustrations in this story were inspired by the life and art of Salvador Dali. So guys, this week we're going to be talking all about Salvador Dali. Now, these are 2 of the paintings that inspired the story that we just read. Now, you probably noticed that there were some interesting people and things and animals in that story? Well, that is because Salvador Dali was an extremely interesting person. This is a picture of him right in the middle of the slide. One thing that may stick out to you immediately are these eyes, but also that mustache. He was known for always wearing his mustache a different way. Now, these are some more pictures of him and his infamous mustache. So, Salvador Dali lived in Spain, which is in Europe. He was born in 1909, and he is what we call a surrealist painter. Okay, a surrealist painter paints things from their dreams. So, surrealism is not going to be something that you necessarily see outside, not something that would normally even be real. Okay, it's going to be very dreamlike, very different things, almost like a fantasy. Now, he was very different from artists at the time because, again, he was painting in the early 1900s. So some people loved his art, and just like everyone else, some people did not like it. They thought it was a little too weird. But he was thinking of a new way of painting, a new way of making art. Again, surrealism is painting things that are from your dreams, things that are kind of fantasy. So can you tell he had a good sense of humor? He's so known for his mustache and those big eyes. Now, Salvador Dali was not just a painter. He was also a sculptor, a filmmaker, a writer, a jewelry designer, a book illustrator, and he even worked in theater. So he was a very diverse artist, not just a painter. So guys, today for our activity, we are going to be going in and making a melting clock. Now, a melting clock is seen in one of Salvador Dali's most famous paintings, and he also used it some in the sculptures and jewelry that he designed. But these are his melting clocks. Now, those of you who visited the art room, I know it's been a while, but I have a lot of these around the room. This one's gonna be hanging on the wall. This one always sits on my bookshelf. I just find these to be really, really interesting. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be creating our own version. Today, you will need a piece of paper, and I am going to use one extra piece of paper as a placemat, okay? And then I'm going to be using both crayons and markers. It's your choice which one you use, but I kind of like how bold the marker is and then how easily the crayon colors the edge of it. Last thing you're going to need is a pair of scissors. So one thing that I noticed right off the bat is the shape of the melting clock. They're kind of oval-like. Now, normally clocks are circular, but since this clock looks like it's oozing over and melting, it stretches to become an oval. So I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm just gonna kind of go around and cut off the corners. Because again, there's no point on there. There's no straight edge. Cut off the corners. There we go. So I've kind of got an oval-like shape. Now another thing I noticed is there's some waves on there and some dips. So I'm gonna add those. Let's add a little bit of that. Again, anything to make it look like it's oozing down the paper. There we go. So I've kind of got that little curve. Let's make that go in a little bit more. So now it's a little bit more oval-like. I'm gonna make this kind of go up and over. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna throw that extra paper, a little trash away. And now I'm gonna use that placemat and set my scissors over to the side. Now I'm gonna outline mine with a black crayon. You can use what color you'd like. I'm gonna use black because in the painting there's a lot of black and white, and then same thing on my actual clocks that I have. So I'm just gonna kind of go around and do just a little bit of an outline. Now again, you could use color for this. You could use markers, whatever material you have. I'm just kind of going around. Now while I draw this, fun fact. So we know Salvador Dali liked to draw things from his dreams, but do you ever have a hard time remembering what your dreams are about? I know that I do. As I sit here and think about it, I can't really remember what I dreamed about last night. Sometimes they're really vivid. Sometimes you kind of forget. So what he would do is to help him remember his dreams is he would fall asleep with a spoon in his hand, and he would set a metal bowl by his bed. So as soon as he started to drift off asleep and his hand would let go of that spoon, it would hit that metal bowl and make a really loud noise. So that way he would wake up right then. And then he would start kind of writing notes about what it was, sketching it out. So that way his art really would reflect a lot of the things he dreamed about. So I thought that was pretty cool. Because again, sometimes it's hard to remember. You're sleeping so good. But again, he would take that spoon and it would fall into that metal bowl and make a loud noise, and it would wake him up. And then he would start making his art about it. Okay, almost there. And again, I've just got this placemat to kind of keep the table clean. And remember, you could use different colors. I'm just choosing this one because that's what's in the painting. Okay, so I'm gonna move my placemat since I'm done with that. Now I've got my clock. Okay, so now my clock needs numbers. Now it goes from 1 all the way over to 12. So what I like to do is I wanted to have rainbow numbers. So I just kind of laid out my markers. I have 12 markers, 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with my first one. I'm gonna write a 12 at the top. Now, what I like to do next is I like to mark where the 3 and the 6 and the 9 are, okay? So let's see. I'm gonna count down, but again, you don't have to do this, but I am our teacher and I really like rainbow order. Okay, so again, you don't have to do it this way, but this helps me. So that would be 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna put the 3 over here. Put him back in line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put that at the bottom. Put him back. Now notice this one's my 12. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put back on. Okay, so now I can kind of go in and fill it in. Now again, you do not have to do yours this way, but what I found, if I just start putting numbers in, I am done before I get over here. Okay, so that's why I like to kind of space it out. So now I can go in. I'm gonna do 1, 2, I already have 3, 4, 5, I already have 6, 7, 8, I already have 9, 10, and 11. Again, you do not have to do yours this way. That's just the way I chose to do mine. Now, my clock needs one more extremely important detail. It needs hands. It needs hands on there. So this time I'm going to use a black marker. Again, colors are up to you. You could do the whole thing with crayons. You're going to put a circle right in the middle. It's going to hold the hands. There we go. Now, I am working on this at 10:15. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, okay? I'm going to do let's do the minute first. So it'd be a little longer. Pointing at the 3 for 15, and then the 10 would be a little bit shorter, just like that. Now you can see on my other one, I made the one longer, excuse me, and then that one shorter. Again, one should be long, one should be short. Kind of thicken that up a little bit so it really stands out. Okay, so now I have a funny shaped clock, but I want to make it a melting clock. I want it to have that purpose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to roll it. There we go, I'm kind of rolling and kind of pushing on a little bit. I'm gonna flip it, let's do it the other way. Roll it. And let it relax, kind of fold it right there. So now I have my melting clock, just like Salvador Dali. Now, when you are done, please be sure you complete your exit ticket, okay? Please be sure you complete your exit ticket and be sure you submit it. Y'all have a great day.